Very first game of the marathon. Let's go. As soon as this gets started, it should be really exciting. There's happening in this game, so with 2 streams to watch, I'm sure we'll get exciting stuff to happen. Count down and get ready to get started. SuperSonic are super good runners. Here we go. Alright, we're going. We're going. 1-1 is pretty straightforward. Basically what we're looking for in World 1 is getting the Fire Flower. There's a few different things that can happen. We get to see what the players are going to decide to do. Basically, there's 2 strategies they'll probably pick from. There's Big Fire Flower Mario and then Small Fire Flower Mario, which you're probably thinking, Small Fire Flower Mario? I've never seen Mario be small and with Fire Flower, and I think this is the only game you can do that in, and Lost Levels on the Famicom Disk System. Those are basically the same game, same mechanics, but yeah. There's actually a glitch you can do to be small and Fire Mario at the same time. Has chosen to get the mushroom in 1-2, which isn't actually the fastest place, but it is a little bit safer. So GTAce managed to get through 1-2 without getting the mushroom. That means he's probably going to pick it up in 1-3, and that is a little bit faster, so he did have to take a risk on that, but it looks like it paid off. And as you can see, GTAce now picking up the mushroom in 1-3. So yeah, that did end up paying off for him. A little bit tougher of a route, but now he should have a slight lead due to that. And what we're looking at is they're probably both going to do the small fire, I imagine. It's kind of the most consistent way to play through the game. So right at the end of 1-4 here, hit the axe and Bowser at the exact same time. So here we go. I think SuperSonic got it. Yeah, SuperSonic got it and GTAce got it. So excellent. We're both off to a good start. Just because they missed that setup, so I'm glad both runners got that. And then what's going to happen here is basically, they got hit by Bowser when they touched the axe, and the game thinks that Mario shrunk, but he didn't. So it's ready to give him a mushroom in 2-1 when he gets his next power-up, even though he's still Big Mario. And all that happens when you grab the mushroom is it says, change Mario's size. So normally you're small, it changes you to big size. That's just how it normally works. But since he's big and then gets the mushroom, it changes him to small. And it's like, okay, I gave you the mushroom, next power-up should be Fire Flower. And since you're small, now you get the Fire Flower, you're now Small Fire Mario. The advantage to this, even though it takes a little bit of time to set up, is that you're Small Mario, so you have a smaller hitbox, so it's easier to play more consistently. Just hopefully never get hit throughout the whole run. So yeah, right now we do have GTAce with the slight lead due to that World 1. Little bit of a risk to get the mushroom in 1-3 instead of 1-2. Alright, really clean 2-2s for both. That's one of the first levels with like pretty random patterns that are hard to but both runners didn't take a hit. That's a good sign. I think they're both playing well. It can be pretty hard to play consistently in this game with all the different patterns you can get, especially in a race. You can easily run into some pattern you're not ready for. But both runners, really clean play so far. Dash 3 also has, but both runners took care of that easily. And I failed to mention, the whole reason you want to pick up the Fire Flower in the first place is because right at the end of the castle levels, you have Bowser here. So you can see Supersonic right now, he's killing Bowser, GTA's killing Bowser right now. That means you don't have to watch the bridge break and Bowser fall in the lava every time you beat a castle level. Instead, you just shoot him with fireballs, and then you don't have to watch any of that. It saves about 10 seconds over the whole run to kill Bowser with fireballs. And it is just really convenient in all the other levels to kill piranha plants and other enemies that get in your way. They did both, again, take those few seconds to set up the small Fire Mario, so they're in the best power-up state they could possibly be. They have small hitbox power. The whole game without getting hit. If they do end up getting hit right now, they'll actually grow into Big Mario. Because again, what happens when you get hit? With normally when you have a power-up, it just changes Mario's size down to small. But since he has a power-up as Small Mario right now, it'll just change his size to big. And then one more hit would kill him, even though he's Big Mario. That is really scary. If either of them takes damage... Ooh, GTAce went for Flag Glitch, and he got it! In 3-2, the Madman, known for going for 3-2 Flagpole Glitch, nailing it in the race. That's a series of perfect inputs there, just to save a third of a second. Pretty crazy that he got that. Nicely done. So the runners coming to 3-4 here. This can be a really tricky level because there's Potaboos always jumping, and the heights they jump at is random, so they'll probably both slow down a little bit just to make sure they don't run into any. The series of like 4 or so Potaboos right here at the end is really tricky. Not too much delay. Bowser kill at the end. See, he finished with 260, GTAce999, so Supersonic maybe stretching out his lead just slightly here. Really solid play. Dash 1's another level that Flagpole Glitch there's a setup to do Flagpole Glitch, so who knows, maybe we might see another one here, but that was pretty crazy getting 3-2 Flagpole Glitch. Ooh, Supersonic did go for it, and he got it. He says, alright, GTAce, I see you. I got to fire back with the Flagpole Glitch of my own. Easy. That was awesome. What a great race so far, man. That was not an easy trick by any means. Just clipping in the wall just for fun, just to show off, saves no time. Actually wastes time, but both of these runners are determined to be as entertaining as they can be. Make sure you go follow these guys, because clearly they're very entertaining. Alright, 4-3. Never slow down in, and if you manage to get to the end without slowing down, there's still actually a 50-50 chance that you lose a third of a second based on where you grab the flagpole at. Kind of a weird, but if Mario stops 1 pixel above the flag when he slides down, then you usually save a third of a second. It looks like both runners, but ooh, yeah, I think Supersonic got the time save, and so did GTAce, so nicely done. I did see a little tiny slowdown at the start of 4-3 for Supersonic, so I wasn't sure if that would cost him, but 4-4, gotta travel through this little maze here, and then a pretty tricky Bowser to kill here at the end. no problem for Supersonic. Make short work of that. And nice run under Bowser by GTAce. And then turns around, shoots some fireballs, and gets a 348. So making up a little bit of time on Supersonic. World 5. The bane of a lot of runners. I've heard a lot of people say, if there was one world I could just remove from the game, I'd remove World 5. Mostly, there's a lot of there's a lot of patterns in this game that are random, but you can react to them so that you don't lose time, you don't get hit. But 5-2 has some of the hardest ones to react to or deal with. So Supersonic bravely challenges that bullet bill at the start. It can just shoot you, and there's nothing you can do about it if you don't know it's coming. GTAce did slow down a little bit at the start, so he's gonna have to slow down slightly before he gets to the flagpole. On the clock with a 6 in the ones digit, you'll make 6 fireworks go off. He grabs the pole at a high 345, perfectly timed. Supersonic, he braved the bullet bill, so he made up a little bit of time there. Bills, we've got them all over the place in 5-3. Really easy for one to be in a spot that's hard to dodge here. Like Supersonic had to run under that one. That was pretty tricky. Sure, they stomp that Goomba in the middle of the level, or else one of the floating platforms despawns, and you just die. But both of them made it through safely, and there's a little strategy you can do in 5-4 here. They're probably both going to do it. You stop near this power-up block at the beginning. You just do that little hesitation, and that makes sure that the fire bars in this hallway aren't ever in your way. So, but Supersonic, he just faces them through 5-4 really cleanly, not getting hit, but Supersonic's taking a couple small risks that are extending his lead here. Really clean play from both runners so far, but just a couple like cleaner castle levels and some other things are giving Supersonic the slight edge right now. See 6-2 coming up pretty soon. A billion piranha plants. You gotta be really precise with where you put your fireballs. Make sure you shoot them all out of your way. Hopefully both runners don't miss any shots on the piranha plants, but yeah, just look at this level. There's piranha plants everywhere. Good so far from both runners. I have to do a slight slowdown here at the end to make sure they don't finish with a 3 on the clock, because that would give them 3 fireworks. 1, 3, or 6 is what makes fireworks go off. If you get a 1, it's no big deal, you don't lose any time, but getting a 3 or a 6, you definitely want to slow down and avoid that. Hey, if they go too fast, they'll finish with a 6 here. Usually you want to do slight slowdowns for parts to this level, so usually getting a 6 isn't too much of a problem. Nicely avoided some bullet bills there from Supersonic, and same with GTAce. Goes off the spring even to avoid one of them, which he did have to make sure he didn't get a 6, so it doesn't waste time if you end up having to do that. Right. Supersonic slowing down at the beginning there to take the Podoboo safely. Ooh, very tricky firebar section. He did a slightly riskier strat, and then it made the firebars tough to deal with. Excellent fire kill, but he's having trouble grabbing the axe. GTAce is cleaner, so he made up a little ground on him there. So I don't blame Supersonic for having trouble getting to the axe. There's a bunch of lag that happens a lot of times when you fight the 6-4 Bowser, because he's chucking all these hammers, you're trying to shoot him with fireballs, and there's just too many sprites on the screen for the NES to keep up with. Yeah, let's see. What kind of a difference are we looking at here? looks like Supersonic is 7 seconds ahead, if I'm not mistaken. Those are accurate, so I'm not. Two, a repeat of 2-2. You might be thinking this looks familiar. Probably thought that about a couple levels already. So there's been a couple repeats, but all the repeats do get a bit harder. There's no exception to that. There's a bunch of extra fish that get in your way in this level, so Supersonic having to clear a few out of the way that got his path, but both runners really clean 7-2. A little bit of a mess up on the stairs there for Supersonic, so GTAce a little bit, but you know, there's only 6 levels left. I think Supersonic's race to lose here, since he has that slight lead. World 8 can be really tricky. I mean, speaking of tricky, there's these cheeps that you could get hit by in 7-3, and the Koopas like to get turned around when the cheeps jump in front of them. Supersonic, he had to deal with that, but he didn't get hit. He is very experienced, he knew what he was doing. 7-4, you have to follow the right path in order to make this level advance. It'll just loop if you take the wrong path, so you gotta go on the bottom, we gotta go on the middle, then the top, then we gotta go on the top, and then the middle, and then the top. Other path than that, it'll just loop you back to the start. Which might have happened for Supersonic. Oh, did he loop? He just wanted to demonstrate that you really can loop there, so I think that puts GTAce in the lead. Dang, that's really unfortunate. I'm not sure why the game looped there. Seconds ahead, GTAce is here now. They are so seconds ahead. Man, that is the lead change right there. It's not a super common thing to happen, but it does happen sometimes, and ahead, like why? I don't even know why it looped. One pretty difficult, although when you have fire, which both players still do, you don't have to worry about some hard jumps that you would have to as just regular small Mario. Making it this far without ever getting hit, super impressive, really hard to do. More going on than it might even look like. Super Mario Bros. 1 is a really straightforward game, but there are some pretty nuanced things that happen during the run. Good kill from GTAce. Every now and then there's all sorts of enemies you might have to go under instead of over, like these paratroopers right here. So GTAce looked like maybe he wanted to try for the bullet bill glitch at the end of the level, but okay, both runners getting an opportunity to go for bullet bill glitch, but saying, nah, I probably shouldn't bother with that. It's a really close race right now. Make sure I don't miss that and waste a bunch of time. Ooh. GTAce with a little bit of a bonk on the stairs in 8-3, which doesn't fall in the pit right after them. Easy to do, so he takes it a little safe, but I think Supersonic can catch up slightly from that. All seconds apart here, going into 8-4. If GTAce plays cleanly, he should be good, but there is a wall jump he'll probably go for in the second room. Frame perfect, pixel perfect trick, which if he misses that and Supersonic gets it, then it could be really, really close here. Alright, here's the room with the wall jump. GTAce nails it, so he's probably in a really good position to win here. As long as GTAce doesn't get hit in the water section, I think he'll be good to go. And just right through Bowser at the end. He has clean water. I think this should be GTAce. By the Potaboo. 7. Wait, SuperSonic got 1927 also, according to their timers. What? Who won? I have no idea. Who won the race? The closest race of all time? I thought SuperSonic was a couple seconds behind, but I guess he made it up right at the end. When did that happen? Who won? Won the race? We don't know who won the race. Everybody wins. They both win, like they actually just tied. That was incredible. Like, their timers they basically say the same thing. They could have actually tied to the frame. Who knows? You have a method of retiming in this game, so I'm sure we'll get the exact frame count. Frame count based on Bowser's pattern at the end, but yeah, we'll have to look back on this. Who won once we get the retime? That's incredible. Closest race ever. Start to the marathon. Have a couple runners of the game working on frame counting this, so we'll find out who won. But wow, the start of this marathon. Imagine where we go from here. So, thanks everyone who watched. Follow. Make sure to donate to support the charity Child's Play. And wow, that was an awesome race to commentate. I can't believe we tied. That was incredible.
Well, wasn't that? Thanks, y'all. Thanks for making drama at the very beginning of the event. I mean, really. 0.03. Is that even a? That's not even a frame rule. That's like human error. Like,
yeah,
that's a tie basically.
Whoever split or started their timer differently, like, we have no idea.
Ah, boy. All right. Well, we'll probably have. I'm sure the Mario 1 community. We have a lot of them here who will probably go back and retime, so we can actually figure out. Just for bragging rights, did we actually have a frame-to-frame tie, or if someone actually won by a frame or whatnot? But we'll find out and let you all know a little bit later. All right. So Cosmic, as always, the man who's held like every record in this game at some point in time. It seems like. Thank you so much for dropping that oh so great knowledge of this game. I appreciate it.